delved into the discussion on OTT versus big screens. Who is winning the battle for our screens and why?
Without much ado, let me start by putting this question to Mr. Agnihotri. Is it actually the case that there is competition between OTT and single screens and the large screen, the big screen, cinema screen, or it is just a creation, a figment of imagination of the media?
See, whenever there is a technological disruption, there will be some new channel or avenue it will find to communicate stories, to tell stories. If Kindle has come, it doesn't mean that we stop writing stories, in print. Similarly, what is happening here, OTT found so much of space, because there were no films were releasing. That was one of the reasons. But we have to go a little back also. What happened was that stories have to be told in a certain way so that they connect with the audience. And it's very simple. When I go to management institutes, they ask me the same question. I just tell them, okay, you pick up the 10, 15 films which you say have not worked. And you will find there is no common man in those films. There are no common issues. There's no common problem. Now, how do you expect the audience to relate with those stories? It's not about them. Any story to be successful has to either intellectually stimulate you or emotionally stimulate you. Or it has to be a physical, it should stimulate your five senses like these superhero films and big extravagant spectacle, what you call. The problem is that we got disconnected with the audiences and we started making films for the trade. We said, okay, about the trade. And same mistake we are making again. A lot of people started making films, I don't know now, but in last couple of years, अच्छा theater में नहीं चलेगी तो OTT में तो चली जाएगी तो I am safe. And I am telling you, I am in the industry. Rumi ji also knows. Everybody talks in these terms. कि यार OTT में price safe. What should be the budget of the film? Whatever OTT gives us. So we stopped thinking that a film requires this kind of a design, this kind of a production, and we started making film for the distribution channels. I think that's, and so whenever you go wrong in fundamentals, no business will work. When TV came, I remember when Z came and Star, everybody was saying this is the end. No films after this. Films are gone, finished. But then they started consuming, we started making films for television. When music industry was on the boom, we started making it for music industry. ये कल ही आप मुझे बता रहे थे कि डायरेक्टर और एक्टर की कोई चिंता नहीं करता था, म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर नदीम श्रवण होने चाहिए बस. So he was telling me yesterday. So films were sold on their name. We are again making the same mistake, thinking that OTT is like going to end cinema. It's not going to happen. Cinema will stay. Cinema will always be the king of entertainment, storytelling. Nothing can replace it. That's what I believe.
मैं बिल्कुल एग्री करता हूँ विवेक के साथ कि सिनेमा पे बिल्कुल असर नहीं पड़ेगा. क्या है, OTT हो सिनेमा हो, दोनों इंटरटेनमेंट की विधा है. लोग इंटरटेन होना चाहते हैं और हम इंटरटेन करना चाहते हैं. मिसाल के मैं कैसे मिसाल दूं कि OTT और सिनेमा में क्या फ़र्क है कि जैसे एक नावल है, गोदान है, आदमी नावल घर में पढ़ता है और मुशायरे में बाहर जाता है. वहाँ एक गज़ल होती है 5 शेर की, एक नज़्म होती है छोटी, लेकिन उसके लिए आपको मुशायरे में जाना पड़ता है और आपको घर में एक नावल पढ़ना पड़ती है. ये फ़र्क है सिनेमा में और OTT. तो इसी तरह जो है आप सिनेमा भी देखते जाएंगे, OTT भी देखते जाएंगे, दोनों ही इंटरटेन करने की विधा हैं. और मैं तो सिनेमा के साथ खड़ा हूं और जिंदगी भर कोशिश करूंगा कि सिनेमा जिंदा रहे और पब्लिक जिंदा रखेगी.
What I can share with you is that February when COVID finished and March is when the regular films started. We actually, when I say we, I mean cinemas across the country, we experience demand by force. March में विवेक जी की भी फिल्म आई, पर उसके अलावा बहुत सारी फिल्म्स आई जिन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया बॉक्स ऑफिस पे. So much so that Q1, which is April, May, June of this financial year, this calendar year, turned out to be the biggest quarter that PVR has had in the entire history of his business.
Oh, wow.
And this was not just, and we are a listed company, so all our data is available freely on our website and various other public platforms. So the fact is that in spite of COVID, 2 years of cinemas being shut, people going out of habit, people, having been forced to stay at home, watch, consume content only at home. In spite of this fear that if I go to a theater or a public place, I could come back with an infection. In spite of all of these issues, cinemas bounced back in a big manner. As soon as we opened, we saw a lot of reception from people. People were and we benefited tremendously from that demand. It is also a fact that Komalji, what he was saying, that in July and August, we've had terrible 2 months, for whatever reason, and I won't get into reasons, and maybe Komalji is a better person to analyze those reasons. But we saw the worst 2 months that we've seen in the last 6-7 years. Some of the big films that we were pegging a lot of hopes on disappointed us at the box office. But that's the DNA of our business. We've got peaks and valleys, hits bhi aati hain, flops bhi aati hain. A lot of films were in production for a long time, moods, taste, preferences, a lot of things have changed, and maybe that was the reason why we saw what we saw in July and August. But now with Brahmastra, things are looking extremely positive. But going back to the original question, I totally agree with Romiji, and I also agree with Vivekji that cinemas are here to stay.
Day one of the summit culminated with the 15th edition of the prestigious BML Munjal Awards for Business Excellence through Learning and Development.
The runners-up for private sector, we have the winner, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. For the private sector, the winner, IBM. Private sector manufacturing. Runners-up are Escorts Kubota Limited. Private sector manufacturing, the winner, Marico Limited. Moving on to the next category, the PSU. We have the runners-up, Gale India Limited. PSU winner, Union Bank of India. For the emerging star, he has two joint winners, Turtle Shell Technologies Private Limited. The joint winner, again in the emerging star, Sunroof Technology Private Limited. There's a special mention, emerging star, Chios. The Sustained Excellence Award, the winner, Larsen & Toubro Limited.